welcome to NAFDAC and Your Health, brought to you by NAFDAC, that agency that has the constitutional mandate to safeguard the health of the nation by ensuring that you patronize only wholesome food products, drugs, cosmetics, and medical equipment. My name is Amanda Ugo.
Today on NAFDAC and Your Health, our focus is on pesticides. We will discuss the significance, kinds, and ways of using pesticides, as well as how to ensure proper handling of pesticides. We will also talk about hazardous pesticides and the regulatory activities of NAFDAC as regards pesticides. And then we'll go on to talk about the scheduled phase-out ban of some pesticides, as well as the reasons for this. One of the 7 regulated products under the administration and control of NAFDAC is chemical, and one of the products under the category of chemicals is pesticides. These are chemicals for managing pests in order to increase the yields of crops. They are substances used to control pests that attack plants and animals, and they include herbicides, insecticides, and fungicides, and so on. These category of chemicals are used in agriculture, horticulture, public health, and even in homes. The significance of these products to our existence and well-being explains why NAFDAC places so much premium on it and carries out maximum regulatory activities on it through its Veterinary and Allied Products Directorate.
Veterinary Medicine and Allied Product Directorate is a very important directorate to us in NAFDAC. And they've been working very hard to ensure that whatever products, pesticides that have been banned in other countries are also banned here. What we have discovered is that there are many products that were banned in a country, but they were still exporting them to other countries. But it is because they have countries that will receive them. So what we are trying to do now is to ensure that whatever is banned in another country, we don't take. So we're going to delist a lot of pesticides that are coming into the country, just to make sure that they do not, get into our supply chain to harm our people. But it is not just the medicine itself. Feed. We are in charge of the feed that animals, livestock, eat. And we have to be also sure that the feed has the composition that it's supposed to have. Again, like medicines, what they take is what they give us. Fish, for example, you cannot be giving fish hormones to grow bigger, because they will transfer the hormone to us. And all sorts of things will start happening. So there are just so many things. People think that because it's animal, it's okay, they can do whatever. No, because we eat most of the animals that we take care of.
Pesticides are classified into categories, and it is on the basis of these categories that their control and regulations are done by NAFDAC. This, of course, includes exportation, importation, manufacture, use, and disposal. All these regulatory functions are broken down under the duties of the VMAP Directorate.
The classification, how hazardous it is. So you have the highly hazardous, you have the extremely hazardous, you have the slightly hazardous, you have the moderately hazardous, and then you have the non-hazardous. So these are the different kinds of pesticides that are used in agriculture, they're used in horticulture, in public health, and even in homes to prevent as pest control.
It is also part of the duties of the VMAP Directorate to enlighten the public and the stakeholders on the handling and use of pesticides, as well as create awareness.
NAFDAC, in its characteristic manner of consistently striving to optimally deliver on its mandate, has been taking steps to properly manage pesticides, and this has seen the agency adopting some policies that will guarantee crop protection and mitigate the exposure of humans and the environment to risks born out of the improper handling and use of pesticides, and also to ensure food safety and food security. In the first term of the NAFDAC DG, Professor Mojisola Adeye, in office, she had given a directive to review and analyze the list of registered pesticides and agrochemical active ingredients in the NAFDAC registered product automated database vis-a-vis actives banned, non-approved, or restricted in the European Union, other countries, or by relevant international organizations. That led to several meetings with stakeholders, and in November 2022, timelines were set for the phase-out ban of the various pesticides. The outcome of the review of NAFDAC's database for the pesticides was shared with stakeholders at a 3-day virtual stakeholders engagement held on the 22nd, 24th, and 29th of November 2022. It focused on the phase-out and ban of these active ingredients and had in attendance proponent holders of marketing authorizations, All Farmers Association of Nigeria, CropLife Nigeria, Nigeria Agro-Input Dealers Association, ministries, departments and agencies, research institutes, among others. At the end of the meeting, it was agreed that pesticides and agrochemical importers and manufacturers would be advised to institute stewardship plans such as post-marketing surveillance and research in their companies. It was also agreed that NAFDAC should collaborate with research and scientific data generation on pesticides to enable the agency make evidence-based decisions and policies. In addition to this, it was agreed that NAFDAC should intensify post-marketing surveillance nationwide and also engage with other sister agencies to ensure synergy in the regulations of pesticides and agrochemical products.
The agency had meetings with stakeholders because we always work with our stakeholders. It's not something, we don't take decisions alone like that, even with the evidences, because we present it, we ventilate the issue very well. We create sensitization, we create awareness because we want to work hand in hand. It's a collaboration. So in this ban, it's a phase out. Some were banned outrightly, like carbofuran and paraquat, but others like atrazine, chlorpyrifos, there's a phase out plan. There's a 4-year, there's a 3-year, there's a 2-year, depending on the substance, depending on the chemical, and depending on whether we have alternatives or not, or when we think, what time we think we'll have alternatives. So it's graded. Right now, as it is, this started around 2020, 2021. Some have entered the moratorium. So atrazine, for example, and chlorpyrifos were now in the moratorium period, which means the licenses, some have licenses, but they are no longer allowed to bring them in. But whatever is in the country, they are allowed to sell. They're allowed to sell. The moratorium period is specified for each of the different chemicals. There's a specification on the moratorium period, and they are allowed to sell it. And after that, we assume and we believe that after the moratorium, we would have registered enough of the newer and safer chemicals that can be used for crop protection and for management of pests in plants and animals.
The curiosity may arise on why the ban is not outright. The director of the VMAP Directorate explains why.
If you ban it outrightly, then there's nothing for the farmers to use at all. So it has to be a graded thing. It's a phase-out plan. So that's the reason. And so we are on it, and there are different timelines that has been set for this. We are already on it.
The director of the VMAP Directorate also gives a list of the banned and soon to be phased out pesticides.
The active ingredients for immediate ban is carbofuran. Paraquat has also been banned. The active ingredients with 2-year phase-out action plan: clothanidine, diquat dibromide, diquat dichloride, and ametrine. Then the active ingredients with 3-year phase-out action plan: atraquinone, carbendazim, chlorothalonil, oxadagil, thiacloprid, metomil, and thiamectazone. The active ingredients under reclassification means they've been moved from crop protection to household use, is fipronil, permethrin, cyflotrine, and amitraz. So let's pay attention to these. There's a phase-out plan and they're at different stages.
We have more for you on the program. Please stay tuned.
As part of NAFDAC concerted effort to prevent incessant food poisoning and to safeguard the health of the nation, the agency wishes to advise the general public to take the following precautionary measures in food handling. Chemicals are not food, so do not taste with your tongue. It is dangerous to health and it can kill. It is dangerous to cook your meat with paracetamol or any drug. It can damage your liver, kidneys, or other organs. Do not ripen your fruits with calcium carbide. It can cause cancer or damage the kidneys or liver. It is dangerous to use sniper to keep insects and other flies away from any food products. Cooking does not remove sniper. Do not consume any mixture or herbal preparation that do not have NAFDAC number. It could be deadly. Too much monosodium glutamate food seasoning that comes as cube or in sachet can be dangerous to your health. Do not add any chemical to food or drink to make it sour or improve taste. Safe food. Everyone's business. NAFDAC. Safeguarding the health of the nation.
Welcome back. It's nice to know that you're still there.
As the countdown to the phase-out continues, NAFDAC will continue to maintain an open-door policy to its stakeholders and also carry out the usual regulatory activities, among which are the various types of inspection.
One of the activities that we'll do is inspection of production facility. We want to ensure that those products are produced in the right facility, that it will not impose any hazard to the environment or people living around there. So we want to first of all ensure that the citation of those facilities of a good location that will not impose any hazard to the environment or the people around the area. We also ensure that those facilities, that the personnel that are working in those facilities are well protected by ensuring that whenever we go for the inspection that they are wearing the good personal protective equipment that ensure that their health are also safe. Also ensure that the waste disposal of those chemicals are well handled in such a way that it will not go to our waterways that can affect our aquatic environment. So these are the things we look out for when we go for production inspection. We first of all ensure that the waste are well collected. If we have affluent treatment plants where these waste are being collected, and first of all they'll be treated before being disposed to the environment. So these are the way these wastes are well treated to ensure that whenever they are being disposed to the environment, first of all, they have already been well treated. There's no any hazard substance inside this waste before being disposed to the environment. We do warehouse inspection. We ensure that the storage facility of the warehouse is of good storage practice by ensuring that the product are put in place or being placed on pallets. You don't put any of our agrochemical anyhow. Make sure they are put on pallets, and also make sure that the lighting of the warehouse is well, to ensure that whenever you want to handle this product, want to collect this product, you want to clean the facility, that you can see very clear before you clean, and also make sure that these products are well labeled. You don't just keep them anyhow, you are label them properly even in the warehouse. So these are the things that we look out for when we go for good for warehouse inspections. And also do field trial molecule. We understand and field trial evaluation. We know that whenever we go for, there's a new molecule in the town, we want to register. Before we allow this molecule to be registered in the country, we ensure that there's a field trial evaluation to ensure that this product is safe and effective before it be allowed to be registered in the country. So
the safety of the public remains of utmost importance to NAFDAC. This is why the agency will continue to enlighten and sensitize the public on the safe handling and use of insecticides.
For a stakeholder to be able to handle pesticides and be sure that they have limited exposure to the products, we try to make sure that we try to tell them rather that they should read the pesticides label. The pesticides label is a legal document that will tell you about the active ingredient, the toxicity of the active ingredients you are about to hold or you're about to use. And it will also tell you about how to use the product, the direction for use, and will also tell you about the precautionary measures that you are expected to take in terms of the minimum PPE, the protective equipment, the personal protective equipment that you're supposed to have on when you're handling such products. And I'll be able to tell you what are those, the pre-harvest period, because the pre-harvest period is usually very important because we have incidences of our products being rejected. When they're exported, they're being rejected due to pesticides residue, which is basically because of the pesticides that has been left on food or in food that has been detected when food is exported to the country, the importing country. And so for once these residue are above the maximum residue limit for pesticides, then these products are usually destroyed. And of course, the economic loss that is tied to it is enormous. And as an agency, we've tried to create sensitization in this aspect to be able to educate our stakeholders to adhere strictly to the direction for use of the product. Try to adhere to the pre-harvest period, the withholding period, and then re-entry period, because these are some of the areas where you have issues of pesticides residue developing. You have the pesticides products, you're supposed to use them according to direction for use. However, there are other safer alternatives, because basically when a product is going to be phased out, there are safer alternatives that are going to be introduced into the market to replace the products, the hazardous products that have been identified. And then there are also bioproducts that you can use. These are microorganisms that you can use in place of the chemical pesticides. And then you also have the integrated pest management system. And then you also have organic inputs as well that you can use that are not chemical based. But however, we try to sensitize our stakeholders on all the opportunities that they have.
Stakeholders' engagement and trainings are also continuous as part of NAFDAC's efforts to ensure no risks are caused as a result of pesticide use.
So currently we're also doing the training of agro-input dealers across the country. We have started in the South-West zone, where we're trying to train and empower our agro-input dealers, people who sell pesticides to farmers, so that there will be a level of education that will be given to farmers who actually buy from the dealers directly. So this training is ongoing, and it is our hope that, because the training actually centers on safe use and handling of pesticides for the dealers as well as for the farmers as well.
We have to be very mindful of the way we use pesticides, or the way we handle them, or even the way we store our food. Because, I mean, it is rampant. There's evidences everywhere, and you hear how people spray chemicals, pesticide chemicals on their food. We have to be mindful, because this can cause serious harms. It can be immediate and it can be delayed. And I mean, we've heard all kinds of stories about serious illnesses, even as bad as cancer, or even for pregnant women who, at the end of the day, when they give birth to a baby, the babies are deformed, or that they have serious illnesses. So I'd want to advise every one of us to treat these chemicals with caution. And if you have any questions, you should write to NAFDAC or walk into any NAFDAC office to ask questions, and you will get clarifications. And if you know anyone who is not handling these chemicals properly, feel free to report to us so that proper regulatory actions can be taken.
That brings us to the end of this edition of the program. Remember, you can be a part of NAFDAC's effort to safeguard the health of the Nigerian people by reporting suspicious activities of producers, distributors, marketers, and sellers of unwholesome food products, drugs, cosmetics, and medical equipment that can endanger the health of the Nigerian people. Please report such activities.
You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700 162 3322. For complaints, call 0800 162 3322. You may also email NAFDAC at nafdac.gov.ng. If you have complaints about any form of misconduct, you can reach the Reforms Unit via email reforms@nafdac.gov.ng or call the Reforms hotlines on 0909 763 0506 or 0909 763 0507. NAFDAC, customer focused, agency minded.
Do not become an enemy of the nation. Do not engage in the importation, production, distribution, marketing, selling, or advertising of unwholesome food products, drugs, cosmetics, or medical equipment. Thank you for watching today's episode. See you again, same time, same station next week.